The exhibition is called Objects of Addiction: Opium, Empire, and the Chinese Art Trade. This exhibition looks at the historical connections between Boston traders' involvement in the opium trade in China in the 19th century and the early collecting of Chinese art in the United States in the early 20th century. The first part of the exhibition looks at the history of the opium trade in China, beginning with British involvement in the 18th century and then American traders in the 19th century. We look at the economic history as well as the implications for the Qing dynasty and the impact on Chinese society and Chinese people. This was the biggest public health emergency of this period and has some resonances with the opioid epidemic in Massachusetts today. I think it's really important to take a look back at the history of Chinese exclusion in the United States and the way that opium was used as a justification for legislation like the Chinese Exclusion Act. The second section of the exhibition looks at the history of collecting Chinese art, initially in China, but later in the early 20th century in the United States, and particularly at Harvard, where the first Asian art classes in the United States were taught. Collectors, curators, and museum directors were forming collections from a variety of sources, but some of the mistakes of that period have impacted the way we think about collecting today and have really shaped our current collecting policies. An essential part of this exhibition has been reaching out to the local community and the university community and having conversations around some really sensitive issues. And we're hoping to continue those conversations in a series of panels and roundtable discussions around the opium wars and their impact on US-China relations today, the collecting of Chinese art and how our collecting practices have changed, and Chinese exclusion in US history. This exhibition really gave me a chance to dig into the history of the institution, as well as the individuals who built up many of the collections, what their motivations were, how those collections are used today in teaching, and what lessons we can learn moving forward.